Peter Chang here for ModuleCave.tv, and today I'd like to review and unbox the Asus Sabertooth P67 revision B3 motherboard. And what you first notice about this board is the kind of like the awesome packaging and graphics on the board. Here we see there's much made about the plastic shroud, or what they would call the thermal armor. And the idea behind this plastic shroud idea is that it allows for better heat dissipation. And what's kind of interesting is they also talk about the so-called thermal radar, and it's really just kind of like temperature sensors on there. What I really love about this board is the tough components. They're like the MOSFETs and capacitors that are actually certified military grade. And also we notice on this board's packaging is there's much to be made about the new USB 3.0 support and EFI BIOS. And let's get this better in zoom here, or more in focus. There we go. And let's take a look at the back side of the board. It's packaging here. Once again, we see some more information about the thermal armor, thermal radar, the tough components. And what's interesting is there's also some documentation here about server grade reliability. And I have to admit, it perhaps is worthy of that. It does come with a 5-year warranty versus my Maximus Extreme 4, which is only a 1-year warranty. And this board is a much better value because of that. And let's go ahead and look at some of the other components here. So let's go ahead and get on with the unboxing and take a look at what's inside here. There we go. Let's get the plastic shroud out of the way. And I really like it that this board's actually packaged in this mylar here. And what struck me about this board is there's actually a lot of very good documentation. Here's the installer CD, and once again, if you're installing this without an internet connection, you kind of rely on the CD. But I would advise you to go online and download the latest drivers and updates for this board. And while it's not essential, it's kind of cool. This is actually a little certificate of reliability of the military grade components on this board, and it covers the capacitors and MOSFETs. Interestingly, there's actually documentation about the plastic shroud, or the thermal radar aspects of the board, and this is actually screwed in. So it's I guess if you don't like the shroud, you could always unscrew it. There's also documentation about this little panel here where you could put a little fan above the north bridge. And once again, here's the 5-year warranty notice. And this actually makes it a ModuleCave.tv must buy, simply because it's you get a lot of value for your money. And here's documentation about the thermal radar, the DJI VRM. And what's cool about this is it really lets your board go into kind of a power saving mode, and there's plenty of documentation for that. The back of the board, let's get this in focus here. And just 1 second, here we are. Alright, I love the markings on this back panel here, and just kind of struggling to get this in focus for you guys. It's very nicely marked. A lot of boards just have like a back panel, and they don't really talk about any of the back ports. A little sticker, it says tough inside. So it's kind of branding separate from the Republic of Gamers framework. What's interesting is that this board actually comes with 4 screws for you to plug in right above that north bridge. And interestingly enough, there's no fan. You get screws, but no fan. So kind of a value board at that, because it just doesn't come with everything. Had it come with the kind of a kitchen sink, it would have been a higher end board, I suppose. But oddly enough, these seem like a little bit longer and skinnier screws. Q-Connect, so you could actually plug that in when you're plugging everything from the front panel. Here we have two SATA 3 connectors, and here we have SATA 3 6-bit connectors. And we have the Asus SLI bridge for 2 SLI, so you could run NVIDIA cards in SLI mode. Alright, let's get on with the board here. And it's in there pretty good and tight here. And let's get a closer look at the plastic shroud here. Here we are. And check out the offset on that heatsink over there. It's very cool. I love the little X configuration there. And I love the branding all over the board there. I liked it how the back panel plate is actually connected. The P67 chip heatsink looks great. Here we have the 3 SATA ports, the 6 SATA port, and then the white one's actually the Intel, the green one's the USB 3. There's the 24-pin power connector. And we have the memory reset switch. Here we have the memory slots. And that's where the 1155 CPU goes. The 8-pin power connector. And we have the 2 slots for your video card, so you could run it in SLI mode or Crossfire, if you will. And all around, it's this P67 chip looks pretty good. I was a little concerned about the plastic shroud there. Like, if I was going to install the card, does the plastic shroud get in the way? I could see cases where it might get in the way. I don't really think I would have too much issue installing something there. Here we have the FireWire. But all around, it looks very impressive, actually. Once again, I'm really impressed by the design style, if you will. Some people may not like the colors because it goes kind of army camo. It's just, you know, there's no really great way around that. If you do want to unscrew the plastic shroud, that's actually where you would unscrew it. And I believe it looks like there's 8 of these screws that are holding that plastic shroud in place. And it's just all around the board, just on the edges and the periphery there. But all around, very interesting board. Quick look at the back panel. USB mouse, powered SATA ports, optical out, USB ports, powered SATA ports on this side, USB 3 ports, and audio out. This is a great board, and it's a Macho Cave must buy. And remember, everything matters.